Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Developers 2.0. So today we're going to see an assignment question that has been given by Navin Reddy sir as part of their contest for MacBook, and this is the in continuation video for the playlist telescope contest question solution. And as part of this assignment, we are supposed to build a quiz application which will have following section like a page for admin and a page for user, where my admin can create a quiz like quiz for question, and even my admin will going to have an access to update or delete the question. So basically we are supposed to have a CRUD operation on the questions, and once we have questions ready with us, we are supposed to like admin can generate a quiz based on the technology, because in question there will be it will be multiple choice question which will going to have a question text. Second thing will be the option. Four option will be there for each question, as in it is a multiple choice question. And at the end, we're going to have a technology for the question, like which technology or the area with which the question has been related. And once the user had been entered all the questions, he or she, like admin, can generate a question based on technology. So we have generate quiz section as well. And apart from this, we're going to have a show user response section where we're going to get all the responses that has been submitted by my user. And as part of user section, user should able to play a quiz based on technology or the area which he or she is selecting. And once he or she selects the technology or the area, then he'll going to get an option to select a quiz, like which quiz he or she wants to play. Once he or she select the quiz, uh, my user will going to get a form which will contain a 5 question that has been generated by my admin. And once my user submit all the options for the questions, and once my user hit enter or hit submit button, my user response will be recorded in my admin section, that is show user responses. And along with this, we're going to get in total marks, like what is my total marks based on the options or the questions created by admin. So while creating a question by the admin section, my admin will also will define the correct option, like what will be my correct option for the question. So that's it. These are the functionality that we are supposed to build using a Spring Boot as a backend, so Postgres as a DB, and React as a front end. So I have created the same example for the assignment. Before starting the explanation for each of the section, I'll show you an example like how things are working for my case. So I had one login section. Suppose I'm logging my system as an admin. So my username and password has been entered. So I'm logged in as admin user. Even I'm going to get an option to log out the window that has been opened up. So here we can see that we're going to have an option to add question, show question, generate quiz, show user response quiz. So let's have a look on the show question section first. So we're going to get a list of questions that are there within DB. So we're going to get question option number 1, 2, 3, 4, then correct solution, like which option is correct for this question, and the technology which is been linked for this question. So map technology or the area has been given in the technology section. So we have multiple questions here. Let's have a look on the generate quiz. So here we can see that we can provide a quiz name, and after that we can select the technology which we want to select or the area which we want in order to generate our quiz. So till now, I had created one quiz for Java, and I had played same quiz using test user. That is my normal user, not an admin. I'll show you. So this is the user response that uh, my admin will going to get. Like, this is the user which had played these questions, and the selected option by my user is this, and the correct option by my user is this. Like, by my admin is this. So I'll show you my admin like normal user page for test user. So for my user, I'll just going to get an option to select a technology, as we have generated only one quiz for Java. We hadn't generated any quiz for Python. That's the reason we are just getting option for uh, quizzes that are like that are there for this technology. As in, we have seen that we have two technology, Java and Python question that has been set by my admin, but we are getting only Java technology quiz over here because we hadn't generated quiz for Python technology. So let's have a look. We will first generate my Python quiz. Admin, okay, admin password. Then I'll first generate a quiz. Generate quiz. I'll name this quiz as Python quiz demo. Okay, and I'll select the technology. That this is the technology which I'm going to use in order to generate my quiz question. So I'll just hit the generate quiz button. The moment I hit generate quiz button, I'm going to get this quiz question list that my quiz has been generated with the following questions. And this all questions has been picked from the questions that have been added by my admin. So let's have a snippet for the same. Okay. Now I'll just log in with my test user. Here, now you can see that we are getting option for Python as well. So we can select my technology as Python. Now we are getting option like the quizzes that are there within this technology or they within this area. So the quizzes, we're going to get a list of quizzes that are there within this technology or the area. As we have generated only one quiz for the Python, so we're going to get only one quiz over here. So the quiz name was Python quiz demo that we have created, Python quiz demo. The moment we select our Python quiz demo, we're going to get a quiz question over here. Okay, let's solve this quiz first. So which of the following data type is mutable in Python? Okay, list, select what is the result of the expression 10 divided by 2 multiplied by 3 plus 1. It is 16, but let's select 16.0. So even we're going to get the answers we have selected is correct or not. Which built-in function in Python is used to get length of string? So in order to get length of any string, we use len function. What does the pass statement do in Python? So it represents an empty block of code. Which of the following statement is used to exit the loop prematurely? So we all know that break is the statement. Break is the statement that we use in order to bypass the further logic. Now we'll just submit this quiz. The moment we submit this quiz, we're going to get a total marks. Here we can see that we have received total marks as 4 because the answer for what is my result, what is the result for the expression 10 divided by 2 multiplied by 3 plus 1 is 16, not 16.0. as we have inserted a wrong input for my question number 2. That's the reason my total marks has been deducted by 1. Let's see, is my response has been recorded in the admin section or not. Admin password. Okay. Show user. Okay. Here we can see that this was the question which we have attempted. Which of the following data type is mutable in Python? Selected option was by me is 4, but the correct option was 4. So I received 1 marks for that. What is the result of the expression 10 divided by 2 multiplied by 3 plus 1? Selected option was 3, correct option was 2. So that was my mistake. That's the reason my 1 marks has been deducted and I lose my 1 marks. Okay. Let's create some question and see, do we get extra added technology here or not. So let's create a quiz based on maths. Suppose it's an solve 3 plus 1. It's 2 is the question for all of us. 3 plus 1, suppose it's 5. It's 4. My option 2 is 4. Option 3 is 2. Option 4 is 7. And even I'm supposed to pass my correct solution, that which of the option is correct among the above that we have mentioned. So we know that 3 plus 1 is 4. So my option 2 is correct. And this is related to, uh, let's name this as maths for the timing. Okay. Let's see, do we have received the entry in show question table or not? So here we can see that we have received an entry for maths. And let's see the area or the technology has been added in the quiz section or not. So here, my maths technology area has been added in the selected technology section. Let's have some more question in order to generate our quiz. 3 minus 1, that is 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay. We know the correct option is 1. Maths. Okay. We will add some more question like 4 plus 1, that is 5, 6, 7, 8. Option 1 is correct. And even the technology or the area is maths. 7 plus 1 is 8. 9, 10, 6, 5. Okay. My correct solution is option 1, maths. 7 minus 1 is 6, 5, 7, 8. And the correct option is option 1, maths. So let's see how many questions we have added in our database. So we have added this many entry, and here we can see that we have by mistakenly we have added an extra entry. So here we can delete the question depending on the requirement, that if we don't want this particular question, so we can remove this question by just having a simple click over the delete button. And here we can see that we have added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 entries. Also, we can edit a question. Suppose if I want to edit some question, I can edit by having an edit button over here. So we can edit question option number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Suppose I want to add solve. I want to append solve in this question. Okay, so here we can see that my solve have been appended successfully in this question we have added. Now let's generate a quiz. Simple math quiz. Okay. We will generate one quiz based on maths with the name simple math quiz. So these are the questions like 7 minus 1, 3 minus 1, 7 plus 1, 3 minus 1, 4 plus 1. Let's log out and log in by test user, password. Okay, the credentials are invalid. Even I had entered added the validations. Password. Here we can see that we have received a maths option within the select technology. Here we can select the quiz that we have created. So we have created simple maths quiz. 7 minus 1 is 6. 7 plus 1 is 8. 3 minus 1 is 2. For the timing, I'll just give 4. And here 4 plus 1, we know that 5, but I'll just make it 6. Let's see what the total score we are getting. So here we can see that we have received 2 marks because we haven't responded for this question number 2. So the total question that we have responded is question number 1, question number 3, 4, and 5. And among them, 2 questions are correct, that is 1 and 3. That's the reason the total score that we have scored is 2. So these are the total functionality that we have implemented using Spring Boot, React, and Postgres as a DB. Okay, now let's have a look on the backend code. So this was the table. Like I had created a users table in order to store all my users. So I have created 2 user test users, admin user and non-admin user. I know the password has been leaked now. Now anybody can access my admin user in the quiz application portal. Even I had like one table for quizzes where we are storing all the quiz name that we have created based on the technology. And even we have linked this quizzes section with the quiz question and the question table that I'll show you what what are my foreign keys and how the entity has been set up for all of the section for all of the table that we have created. So this is my quiz question table, which we're going to store quiz ID as well as the question ID, the mapping of both the entries. And for my questions, I'm going to get an ID, question text, option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4, and correct solution, correct option, and the technology. Then we're going to have a user response, like which user had responded which question with what selected option by my user. And the correct option I'm getting from the question ID itself, because within my question table, I have correct option as well. So in order to implement the whole functionality for the quiz application, I had connected my Spring Boot application with the Postgres. And in order to do so, I had done some configuration in my application.properties file. Like I set it the URL, username, and the password. And post this, I had defined some of the entities that we have used. Like we have used questions, we have used quiz, we have used quiz question, we have used user answer, we have used users. And the user answer detail is something that I'm using in order to store while the time I store my user responses to the user entry table, user answer table. I'll show you in a while. So within question, I'm going to have, so I had mapped my questions table with the question object, and these are the entry that I have added in the question table: ID, question text, option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4, corrected option, and the technology. And after that, coming to the quiz entity. So within this quiz entity, I had ID, then quiz name, and the technology. Then this were the entries that we're going to have in our quizzes table. And even I had mapped one-to-many to my quiz table. And this was the relation I had said, like many question I'm going to have one quiz. Like as you have seen that within one quiz we're going to have 5 questions. So many to one, uh, like one quiz, many question, one-to-many relation I had said. And this JSON ignore property is something I had added this annotation in order to avoid the JSX exception that we're going to it, because while saving the quiz entry in the table, like the database, I need to set the quiz question first. And the moment I used to show the quiz question before setting the quiz, I'll need to make sure that my one-to-many mapping has been done. So in order to get that mapping, I had added the JSON ignore properties. This will ignore the properties from the JSON. Okay, so here we have an entity for the quiz question. So we have seen that within quiz question, I'm going to have ID, quiz ID, and then question ID. And even I had some of the relation like many to one, many to one. So even I had joined this column with the quiz ID and the question table with the foreign key. And here we are on the user answers entity. Even here, I have defined some of the foreign key in order to set relation between my user and the question table. Well, the moment I give some of the input from my user, I need to store user information as well as the question information. And apart from this, I'm going to need the selected information as well. Like the select option was this. This was the data which I had created, answer data. So this class was something I had used in order to store my user answer related information to the database. So now coming to the user entity, as we have seen that we are like within user table, we have username, password, email, and is my user is admin or not. So this were the entry I had used for my user, like defining my user. So I had used layered approach as we have seen all the entity that I have defined for this project. Let's have a look on the repository. You all know that for the repository, we are just extending the GPL repository and we are passing some of the parameters like the class that we're going to that the entity that we're going to set the GPL repository. So this is the entity for which I'm setting the GPL repository. So similar in the similar fashion, I had created JP repository for the like I had extended JP repository for the questions, question, quiz, then user and user answer responses. Now let's have a look on controller, login controller. So here we can see that we have added at the rate REST controller, and along with this we have added the cross origin. Cross origin is something that will allow my React front-end part to communicate the backend thing. And I'm allowing the localhost 3000, that is port number for, that is web URL for my React or the front-end part. So in the similar fashion, I had mapped all the entries like for login, for adding question, for getting questions, for different functionality of the quiz application. I had mapped all the entries in the controller part, and within the service section, I had done all the business logic, like I had performed all the business logic that are been needed in order to create this application. So this was an high level overview for my Spring Boot application. Now let's have a look on my front end, that is my React part. So for this, I had created, let's go start by start, step by step. So we're going to have a proper idea. We have an app section like app.js. Within app.js, I have routed all the entries. Like for this path, I need this component. For this path, I will going to need this component. And for the starting entry, I'm going to redirect my page to login component, and within login, I'm going to. So here we can see that within login, I had done some of the validations for the user script, and even I'm getting all the data from the backend. Like I'm sending this username and the password at the backend. Okay, is the user is admin or a normal user or an invalid credentials. So I'm going to get a response as a result for my request which I had made by passing an entry username and password. So these were the responses that I was getting. So if the user that I have, if the credential that I have entered is for admin, I'm going to navigate for the admin page, and if the credential that I have entered is for user, then I'm going to navigate to the user page. And for user, I'm going to open quiz page component. And for admin, I'm going to open admin login page component. And within quiz page, I had done all the operation of the logics that are been required for the user point of view, like displaying technology specific quizzes, and mapping the questions, getting questions, displaying total entries for the different questions, like the total marks and all. And in the similar fashion, I had had a name for my like admin section, because as you have seen that for admin we're going to have a different header, and for normal user we're going to have a different header. So I have created two header, user header nav for user and the header nav for admin. Within header nav, I'm going to have multiple options like add question, show question, then generate quiz, then at last we're going to have show user response. Along with this, we're going to have a button for logout. And within the login section, we have seen that we have navigated my user if the credentials are for user to the user page. And we have already seen that for user, I am using quiz page. So this is the page for quiz, which has been used by me in order to have all the logic, like fetching the quiz based on technology that we have selected, then fetching the questions based on the technology, and also submitting the response to the backend, which my user have entered. So these were the responses that has been entered by me as an user. So even for adding component, like if I want to do the add question operation, so for that I had used this, like if I want to add some questions, then I'm going to use admin login, because in admin login I have defined all the thing, like this is the question and this is the option for the particular question, and the correct option is this, technology is this. I'm just adding the thing in my backend database by passing the post request to questions slash add questions. And these were the details that we are going to fetch from the form. If I want to edit some question, then I had different component for editing a question. As we have seen that the moment we click edit button, we're going to get an component, an overlay model. So I created an model overlay in order to edit my question. And the question, like the question number, then option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4, I've selected and I have edited the same thing. And now coming to the quiz generator component. So quiz generation is something, if we want to generate some quiz, we have a navigation in the admin page where that we have seen. So the moment we open the generate quiz section, we're going to fetch the distinct technology that based on the entries that we have in our questions table. Because as user we're going to enter the different questions based on different areas, so we're going to bifurcate the distinct technology or the distinct area from the questions. And once we're going to have a different distinct questions or the sorry distinct technology, then we can have the generate quiz functionality where I'm creating a quiz of 5 questions for the timing, and I'm adding all the entries in my quizzes table that we have seen at the backend. So these are the entries that will be required. So you can get all the code for the front end as well as back end from my GitHub page. So I'll put it in my description box itself. So you can get it from there. Along with this, I'm going to create one Medium blog page. So even you can repo this in order to get a proper understanding like how the things are flowing and how the relation has been set for different tables and what all components are required, what are the functionalities for different component, and what all things are there at the back end as well. Like as we have seen that we have a like we have used and layered structure for developing a Spring Boot application. So this is how the quiz application works for admin. Let's have a look on working of admin user once again. At last, admin 123. Okay. So we're going to get an add question, show question, generate quiz, show user response, and the logout button. So this web functionality that we have added for admin, and for user can see the quiz that has been generated by admin using the text tag as front end React, for backend I used Spring Boot, and for storing the data I used Postgres.